Let's talk about my anti-TBR. Is that a thing? It should be a thing. There are a couple books that I just know that I will never read. So I wanted to talk about them with you guys today and get your opinions, see what you guys think. Today, I will be sharing 5 books that I have officially crossed off my TBR and potentially added to an anti-TBR. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more bookish content. We would love to have you stick around. Without further ado, let's get into it. If you've seen any of my content recently, then this one should not be a surprise at all, but Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. I recently read Haunting Adeline in my Only Reading Dark Romance vlog. Definitely check that out if you haven't seen that one. This book, Hunting Adeline, is the second book in the cat and mouse duet, I think is what it's called. I just don't need to. Plain and simple. I read the first book and I didn't love the main character. I just can't justify his actions. If you know, you know. If you can't stand the love interest in a romance, it's a deal breaker, you know? There's no reason to continue. I honestly never even entertained the thought of continuing and reading the sequel. I just knew as soon as I finished the book, honestly, when I was halfway through the book, that I wouldn't be continuing the story. I am interested in learning what happens though, so I'll probably look up some spoilers online. I don't even know where you would do that. Instagram? Surely TikTok talks about it somewhere. Yeah, I'm just never gonna finish this series. Do you have any series that you feel this way, where you read one and you're like, absolutely not, but you do want to know what goes on? Let me know down below. Okay, book number 2 is very popular. It is a very widely loved book. It's A Little Life by Hanya Hanagiara. Don't know how to say her name. So sorry. I just know that this book is going to ruin me. I mean, the cover alone is absurd. I am not the kind of person that can sign up for reading a book that I know is going to destroy me. If I think it might make me a little sad, like let's say Beartown, that's a whole different story. But from what I understand, that book is going to destroy me the entire way through. Like with Beartown, I just kind of was like a little destroyed at the end. But, okay, not a little. I was very destroyed at the end. This book looks like it's going to wreck me from start to finish. And I can't sign up for that. I can fully respect the type of people who hear that and know that it's going to destroy them and still pick it up anyway. I totally respect anyone who loves crying when they read books. I personally cry enough on my own time. I don't need a book to do it for me. What it comes down to is if I know that a book is going to make me sad for more than a couple days, I'm just not going to pick it up. Let's be real, life is stressful enough on its own. I do not need a book to add more emotional distress onto my life. No thank you. I am really curious though on what happens. I kind of want to look up spoilers just to see like what the story is, because at the end of the day, I am curious. I do want to know why people are talking about it and love it so much. I just am not curious enough to go through that. Okay, book number 3 might ruffle some feathers, might be controversial. The internet might hate me for saying this, but I'm never gonna finish reading The Hunger Games. I actually did start reading this book back when it was like its peak popularity. I think maybe even potentially before all of the books were released, I was reading them, but I never finished them for whatever reason. I also never finished watching the movies. But I just feel like at this point, my time has passed. I haven't read them by now. I am not gonna get back into it. I feel like in order for me to read the last book, I probably should read the first 2 books again. And now there's a whole bunch of like prequels, right? I think there's 2 prequels. That is, you know, my time has passed. I'm not going to be doing that. So, sorry. I want to make it clear. I don't think that these books are bad. I really enjoyed them when I read them. I just think I've completely missed my time. Naturally, at this point, I do know all of the major spoilers. I know what's going to happen. So I just have lost all motivation to pick them up again. Maybe I'll finish watching the movies. Maybe eventually, but I definitely will not be picking up the books. Bestie Emily, if you're watching this, I am so sorry that you had to hear me say that out loud, but it's just the truth. Moving right along, book number 4 is less of a book and more of an author, but it is Anything Else by Colleen Hoover. I have read 2 of her books. I've read Verity, which I did really enjoy, and I think that is a very universal experience. Everyone loves that book. And then I also read It Ends With Us, which unfortunately did not age well. I also, when I read that book, I wasn't obsessed with it. I felt like the letters to Ellen were just weird and made me uncomfortable. So for that entire portion of the book, I just was uncomfortable, which is not the best. I have heard that her other books are different. Obviously, there's different storylines, different plots. I just think that I don't need it. There's so many other authors I want to read, so many other books I want to read. I don't want to waste my time on an author where, I don't know, there's some controversy around her. Her books are what they are. I don't know. I just don't need it, so I will not be reading any more of her books. Okay, book number 5 is actually kind of random. I bought this book and I think I'm going to be unhauling it, but Bridgerton by Julia Quinn. Before you come for me for this one, it's only because I've already seen the Netflix series. I don't know about you, but I absolutely hate reading a book after I've already watched the movie, the TV series, whatever it may be. When I know what's going to happen, I just have no motivation to read the book. What's the point? I know most books are quite different from movies a lot of times, so maybe there's some things that I don't know that I would find out in the book. I just don't think it's worth it. I know the main plot lines, main storylines, the characters, like any plot twists. Maybe there's more in the book, but especially for a romance, like it's fine. I'm fine. I will also say I loved the TV series. I love all of the seasons, all of it. Just don't need to read the book. And it's a very long series too. There's a lot of books, and y'all already know, if you've seen all the series I'm in the middle of video, I do not need to start another series. That is the last thing that I need. Now that we're talking about this, I do have a special bonus number 6 that I just remembered that I think you guys, I don't know. Is it controversial? Maybe. Don't be mad at me. If you loved this book, don't be mad. But I will not be continuing the Powerless series by Lauren Roberts. I know the next book is coming out pretty soon, and I read the first one, will not be reading the second one. I know there was also a novella that came out, won't be reading that either. My problem with this book is it's not unique. I've read it before. There's a competition where the female main character is using a bow and arrow, and whose love interest is also in the competition, needs to be healed, and what happens? Someone sends her some ointment. I understand that there is surely parts of this, especially in the last 2 books, that I'm sure, how many times can I say sure? A lot, apparently. But I am sure that there are some things that differentiate itself from other stories that I've read. And also, pretty bold of me to say this when I'm also saying I'm not going to finish reading The Hunger Games. But still, regardless, I won't be finishing it. I've also heard some negative reviews about the second book, about how it's so repetitive. The internet and my own opinions have not convinced me to finish the series, and that just does not feel like my fault. I know this book is super popular though, so if you've read it, let me know down below what your thoughts are and try to convince me to finish reading it, because maybe I am open. Maybe that's the one series on this list that I will potentially be open to reading. I'm sure there's more books than just these 6 that I won't be reading, but these are the 6 that I can think of for right now. Let me know down below if you want to see more videos like this, if you want to hear more thoughts on what books I will not be reading. And what book will you refuse to read? Is there a series? Is there a book? Is there anything that's similar to The Hunger Games where you've already watched the TV movie series, so now you just are not going to read the books? Let me know. That's important information. If you enjoyed this video at all, make sure to hit the subscribe button, join the fam, so you don't miss out on any future bookish content. I also have my Instagram, Goodreads, TikTok, all linked down below if you are interested in staying more up to date on what I'm doing, what I'm reading. If you want to see the 2 cutest dogs in the entire world, I post them a lot on my Instagram stories. Definitely check that out. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!